So you've heard of different Corrin builds, but you haven't heard of this one, mostly because it sucks, but also because it might be too cool to tell anyone about. This is Backup Corrin. Now what does this do? Nothing super good, but you can create stone pillars that increase defense and res. So the whole point of this team comp was literally this. You Dragon Vein, you give everyone a defense bonus. I was gonna run a bunch of tanks. So we'd have like an Ike tank. We would have a Leaf tank. This Leaf tank build is trash too, by the way. We have a Leaf tank. We have a Chloe tank. Kagetsu has Gentility and Resolve and can avoid tank. Gold Mary is supposed to be on Roy, but I didn't re-equip because I just did his Paralog. And then what you do is you sit over here and you pop all of your tanks with more defense and res in addition to all their high defense and res. And you have an army of tanky tanks that can sit on this, like these tiles, and just like absorb combats and be fine. That was the idea. And then you also get, you know, you can freeze things, you can dual assist, whatever. That was the idea behind this build. Now, did it work out? Kind of. It's kind of stupid, to be honest. It's not the best thing. What I ended up doing, mostly, was just attacking enemy positions using the bulk of all these units I was running. So instead of having units sit in a giant ball and have enemies come to me, what I would do is I would leverage the fact that all of my units are bulky and just like approach groups of enemies and just waste them and take no damage, which was way better. And then also I could like longbow freeze, which is similar to Thoron freeze but not as good, and that was usually better than like sitting and waiting like this. So honestly, like things like this, they're not proactive enough to really be good. And in Engage, you really are rewarded for being aggressive as hell. Like the longer you wait, the worse things tend to get unless you have broken builds that can tank absurd amounts of enemies, which aren't hard to make either. Like there's Ike builds, Roy builds, Erica builds, even Micaiah builds to like tank large volumes of enemies. So like you can play slow and do whatever you need to do. But the idea behind this build was, oh, I'm gonna boost all these things. Like there's always theory versus like testing, right? There's always like, in theory, this could be good type ideas and things that when you actually scrutinize and test them, you quickly discover like what's wrong with it when the rubber meets the road. So this is an example of good in theory, bad in practice. So I don't recommend that build. It's stupid. It doesn't really make sense. That was Anna's build. It was kind of funny. It was kind of a meme in some ways, but I do not recommend it. All right, let's do this. Look at Pandreo one-rounding through res because of sword power. Oh no, he doesn't have sword power. Never mind. 11. He just has Micaiah and 11 plus. Mages are just that weak. All right, then let's see if we get the crit here. So she has 63, but she doubles. She should be fine. I believe in her. She's gonna get this crit. She got it. All right, Gris, get out of the corner. We're putting you on timeout. Now let's see what we do with this tanking thing. We'll test it out for a turn or two just for fun. But look at how being aggressive. Look at how good being aggressive is versus this, where we're just like waiting. We probably could have attacked these too with some units. All right, we'll stick Marin in there too for fun. She doesn't benefit because she flies, so. All right, so he gets attacked by 11, that's fine. And then what does this guy attack? Kagetsu. Cool. All right, he did 4 damage. That was the original idea, was creating this like tanking structure. But now that the enemies are here though, like why would I not just start killing them all? You know what I mean? Like why would I not just, like, well, I can push this Ike unit into like 10 enemies and he'll survive. Unless they have chain attack. And some of them do, so. But why would I not just like go for kills here? Let's engage. Here, let's do this. He has Sieglind. Yeah, there we go. This was the idea behind his build. Build up Erica with Brave. He can Sieglind turn 1 here, but build up Erica with Brave and then just Sieglind everything. And that's enough. And then you don't need Speed Plus because Swordmaster is insanely fast. All right, and then she could quad hit. She's just gonna go for this. She has to get crits to kill, and she does not double these Swordmasters because they're very fast. Oh, but she did Sandstorm crits, that's nice. Just either one of those would have killed, but... Alright, so there's that. And then Anna can move up. So we can kind of like do this. It's not terrible. If Anna has nothing to do, it's still somewhat useful for pushing chokes. It's not like it's useless. It still serves some purpose. Flyers can kind of wrap around. It does impede movement too. So if you're not in the formation or you need to move your units forward, it does reduce move. So it can be used to like stall enemies out. Let's see, let's move these over. Let's get these guys out of here. Panette still needs to get her Wrath online. She can rotate back. Let's see what pushes us. Probably like 2 or 3 things, nothing crazy. It's something decent you can do on a dead turn for the units, but ultimately pushing in and just being aggressive is way better with this team. We have so many tanky units that I can just do that. Now I probably can't get entrapped though. I don't think anyone aside from Alir could really get entrapped here if I wanted. But I do have, I could probably Astra kill that, so I would probably just kill these, dance, then get her in Astra that. Alright, let's go for a crit. I don't know why I engaged on Leaf. Leaf engage is kind of bad. Alright, looks like I got the crit. Leaf engage, I thought it gave you crit plus 10 at all times, but the adaptable, it's only during enemy phase. So that was the idea behind this build, was to improve crit. And it did not work out very well. Alright, let's get Panette. She can probably kill this. Use a little killing edge, maybe. If she doesn't kill, it's actually good. Now she's at 100 crit. It's actually fine. Now she's at 100 crit. Alright, then we can send in Kagetsu here. You can just Sieglind. Sieglind is usually enough damage to just one-shot these, which is very nice. Such a good weapon. It's honestly overpowered, but who cares? It's in the game, we're gonna use it. What else? Yeah, this was the idea behind Anna's build. Low investment warrior that backups at 3 range, and then also can dual assist at 3 range. Eventually she would get dual assist plus. And then she supports the tanks by quality time and dragon veining. So she wants like higher level Corrin to quality time plus, and then defense res 3 all of them. But it ultimately didn't even matter, because like you can push the maps aggressively enough that this style of tanking is basically irrelevant. And you can just support your units too, so it's kind of nice in some instances. You can just like do this. It's like, now you're a little bit tanky. Now, if you combine that with a dragon rally or a dragon instruct, you get defense and res plus 6, and then plus 3 to all of your other stats, which is pretty interesting. It makes your units very tanky. Now, it's probably overkill, and of course there's always things like bonded shield, but it's a different way of having like, you know, constant damage reduction on your team, which is kind of cool. Let's just pass one more turn just to see what happens. I don't think there's very many enemies in the opening here. Most of the enemies on this map are in the middle of the map. Alright, so let's send you in. We'll do one of these. She should be able to Astra that guy from here, I want to think. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't kill. Unfortunate. Alright, we need as a shielding art. We need a Leer. Maybe that pushes her up. Maybe not. Hopefully it does. It does not. We need spur attack as well. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. That is one downside of this Chloe build. Doesn't have enough might to kill things like this. Now, this does have a shielding art, so it's a little bit tankier, but still would want some more damage. Now, if I dragon instructed, she would kill, or if I spur attacked, and the spur attack is right there. So actually, let me see if I can set this up. So you go here. Let's see if this is enough. I might be out of range now, though. No, I'm in range. Is that enough? It is. All right, cool. You can always just do this. You can fix it. It's not that bad. We got the entrap. All right, and then what we would want to do, like move him up, and then move another tank up, like this. This is like the idea, right? You have like multiple tanks. Now, really, you don't need multiple tanks. You can get away with like 1 or 2, and then a bonded shield. That's more than enough. But we're running multiple tanks here. Let's see how they do. No, my staff, my rescue staff. They're stealing my brave bow as well. All right, that's pretty good. Sieglind is really good. He almost one-rounded a Great Knight. All right, the Tamara build. Tamara needs damage fixed on her emblem, and Leaf does not do that at all. And also, Leaf does not even make you that much tankier. So Leaf kind of is trash, honestly. I was trying to make a Bond 20 build, and it hasn't really worked out with Leaf. Let's see how this goes. All right, she Sandstorm. She got a kill, and she crit. That was the idea behind that Javelin, was with something 2 ranges, I have high crits, or like 40% crits and then 30% Sandstorms. I mean, it helps. It helps somewhat. It's whatever. Like, this is tanky and this is tanky. These would probably tank better than these. This build I consider to be like C tier. It's actually really bad. And then this build, I think if we change the passives, it could be like S tier. Because Sieglind is usually enough to 1 round, as you can see here. And when he attacks, he gets Lunar Brace, and he gets Gentility plus damage. So he pretty much 1 rounds anything with it. Pretty much any unit who doubles on Erica will 1 round anything that they attack with Sieglind in endgame chapters, so it's quite good. But we will cover that in a different video. So yeah, that's it for the Ana video. I don't recommend it. Defense res +3 doesn't matter. You're better off throwing this on a Sage and having fire when you need it, and just snap freezing and staff botting as needed. The other thing that's nice about staff bots using Corrin is that every time you heal, you get 1 charge. So even as you're healing, like if you're just like healing up your team in between combat, or as you're advancing to different positions, you're still building Corrin Backup, which is quite nice. And of course you can fortify to build up 1 bar per ally healed. So if you fortify 6 allies, you will completely reset your Corrin immediately. So it's definitely better on other things. But that's it for this one. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. I'll see you next one. Peace.